Welcome back. We were talking about loneliness and crisis. Opportunity. You have the opportunity, an open door to help facilitate changes. Think about that. In this crisis, you have an open door. You've been called for one reason or other. A person may know you or somebody may want you there as a chaplain talking to them. But you have the opportunity to help make changes in this person's life. So like I said, know the steps and help them to make changes. Dr. James J. Lynch, professor of psychosomatic medicine at the University of Maryland Medical School, agrees that loneliness brings in the mortality rate. It makes it go up. Yes, it does. I agree with him. When you're lonely, depressed, and you draw back, let's look at a few things. You're not gaining mentally. I like to sit down and challenge myself to a lot of things. One of them is these little tests they put on Facebook, and they say, you can't score 5 or better. I like to see what I can score. I like to see what I can miss, because I gain knowledge out of that. I like to sit there and read my Bible. Every time I read it, I gain knowledge out of my Bible. If these people are depressed and lonely, they're not doing that. So they're not growing mentally. Let's talk about physically. Recluse. Stay in the dark room. They're not outside. They're not exercising. They're not getting the vitamin D, everything they need from sunshine and the good air and exercising. They're in a stale room that air conditioners filter over and over, or whatever, in that dark room. Not good for their eyes. They're not getting sunlight. They're not taking care of their bodies. Lack of dialogue. They're not talking to people. We can go out, and my wife says, you never met a stranger. Or you can talk to anybody. Dialogue. I like talking to people. I like talking to people about my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. I like talking to people in the motorcycle world. We compare notes. I like to see what they've done. I love to see the custom paint jobs. I mean, it's just dialogue, talking to people. Person that's lonely is not having this. They're not picking a phone up and talking to somebody. They're not having somebody to talk to. They're depressed. They're put back in that room. They're lonely. And they really don't want to have a dialogue. God made it for us to talk to people. So you need this. So you have to watch with these people. They don't have a dialogue with people. Their basic human needs are not met. Why? You might look around the whole house and they may have a beautiful house. You may think that the refrigerator's slapped full of food. This could be. But if you're lonely and depressed, a lot of times you don't eat. You don't eat healthy. You snack. A lot of times if you're dealing with a lonely, depressed person, you will see a lot of snack. Let's just say potato chips around, cookies around, whatever else they snack on. They'll be around their table, their chair where they spend their time at. That's what you'll see. You realize that they're not getting the best nutrition. Without getting good nutrition, look what's happening to the body. It's wearing down, mentally, physically. You see, that's why all this leads, this loneliness, this depression, leads to people dying early. No crowd around them. They don't care. They get sick. They've got nothing to fight for. They just feel like the world's against them. Like I said, this is where you have opportunity to take care of this. Existential loneliness. This model shows that people have a core loneliness because of our alienation from God, others, and self in the neutral world. Sin triggers is alienation. They're worried about something they did. Will God forgive my sin? They dwell on it too much. I remember a lady one time at church, and she said something that really bothered me. It was great. It was wonderful. She says, I hope I've done enough to get to heaven. Godly lady. She had done more than probably a lot of people. But in her mind, I hope I've done enough to get to heaven. People think that. I mean, I know that I'm a sinner. But I live daily with my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. If he was to come right now and we didn't finish this video, I know where I'm going. I have that confidence. He tells me in the Bible I have that confidence. You can talk to them. They can have this confidence too of where they're going, what they need to do. Remember, you're talking about sin don't make you get down lonely. The first family hid from God. What did Adam and Eve do after the devil tempted them and they ate of the fruit in the midst of the garden? They had knowledge. They knew they were naked. They went, and God come down and walked with them in the evening and talked to them and had times. And when he called out for them, finally had to have them, they said, we're ashamed. We're naked. How do you know you were naked? So they went and hid. They knew that they had broken the law of God. They were ashamed. A lot of these people are too. They're stuck on things that happened years ago that they're worried about. Will God forgive me? What will he do? Yes, you can do sin, and it can follow you throughout your life, some things that you did. You have to pay consequences for it. But you can be forgiven. You don't have to carry that burden around. And that's what you need to tell them. That's what you need to work with them as chaplain. Remember, you're a minister, a servant minister, so you want to let them know how God feels about them, what can be done. Let's go over some socialistic cause of loneliness. What society, what it causes some loneliness. Promotion of independent and self-reliance. Teamwork has been replaced as individual goals. What you get. You no longer want to work a team. You want to be the best of what you be. You'll step and do anything you can to be the best. Our society says, be number one. It is taught. And you say, how's it taught? It is taught from the time our kids start playing sports all the way up. Baseball is kind of an individual sport. It's a team sport. You got to have a pitcher, you got to have a catcher and all that. But you can be individual. You can be the best hitter. You can do a lot of things and put yourself up on that pedestal. Football's a team sport. But then again, the quarterback can get all the credit for the wins. I mean, it makes them think they're individual. They're not part of the team. They're better than the team. This is what society tells a lot of people. This is what businesses say, be all you can be. Have you heard that slogan, be all you can be? I agree with it. But not at the cost that you will go against your morals, your values, you will hurt somebody, you will stomp on somebody, you will do everything there is to climb the corporate ladder. But society tells us to do that. So this could be one reason that they're thinking about being lonely, because they don't agree with society. Competition. What did I tell you? You want to be the best that you can be. It starts early. Back when I grew up, my daughter asked me one day, she said, Daddy, you've only got 2 baseball trophies. I said, 1968 and 1971. I said, yes, ma'am. I said, 68 trophy. I said, we won first place in the league we were playing in. I said, 1971 trophy. I said, we won first place, All-Stars. I said, we went all the way from Alabama to the regional in Babe Ruth and got knocked out of the regional tournament. I had to explain to her. Everybody didn't get a trophy and go home. I had to explain to them that sometimes you sat on the bench. You didn't automatically get to play because some person says everybody will play or they won't have self-esteem. No, I grew up. I understood hard work and dedication, determination would get me where I needed to be. So you have to watch Dylan and Day Society because everybody gets a trophy and goes home. Everybody's supposed to be the best. It doesn't work that way. When you get in life, everybody don't get the top job. Everybody don't get the CEO. Everybody don't get the 6-figure salary. When you get in life, everybody don't get that. Society tells you should, but they don't. And they have to become realistic. Competitiveness. Do you see it in churches? Well, I want this position or I want my opinion above everybody else's. I see this. This is where I come in as a degree in pastoral psychology. I come in when churches are breaking up and find out what's going on. When they're having problems, what's going on. Most time it's somebody's ego. Not always, but most times somebody's ego or the leaders don't want to listen to the congregation or the congregation, blah, blah, blah. Somebody has always got things going. So this person's lonely because they think that they get a trophy every time they grow up and they do something that when they get into a job, they ought to be number one. They don't realize that sometimes you have to start at the bottom and work your way up. So be aware of competition. Segregation of age groups. You see this a lot in children. They're separating age groups as they come up through school or daycare, and a lot of times peers, they're separating high school. The athletic clique, or the band clique, or the uppy clique, or what we used to call the nerd clique. And be careful to them people, because one day you'll end up working for them. What we thought were nerds were smart people that go out you have to work for. So you have all these cliques. Same way in society. You have cliques sometimes in churches. You have cliques sometimes out in society, at work. This group is here, this group is there. So they can be lonely because they're not in the group they want to be in. But you can remind them that they can be in a group of conquerors, heirs of the kingdom of heaven. They can be in a group called Christians. They can be in a group with Jesus Christ and what they can do. That will bring more self-esteem than worry about being in the top when they realize that they're going to be heirs to everything. So y'all go take a break, and hopefully in the next section, we will finish this up.